Gonna take a break out of Jonah this morning. It's October 20th, and that day means a great deal to me in the history of my life, and I want to tell you why. And hopefully it'll be a thought that you could carry throughout the day. When I was 17 years old, my first boyhood best friend was murdered by his girlfriend. He was 17, she was 14, and it took place in a little small town of 1,200 people in upstate New York. Back then, shows like Inside Edition and Maury Povich and other shows that were like provocative like that had news stories about that murder. In the newspaper of the closest city, it ran as the headline for 5 different straight days. This murder that rocked upstate New York in this little sleepy town. It was a tragedy in and of itself, but here was the biggest part of the tragedy for me, is that my friend, his name was David, never knew Christ. In fact, he touted his atheism. He stated very clearly he was an atheist. It was kind of a badge of distinction for him. And I knew he was an atheist, and I chose never to share Christ with him. We lived apart. We were an hour and a half or so away from each other in high school, but I would still see him when I went back to my old hometown. And I never took the opportunity to share Christ with him because I was afraid. I was afraid of being what I wouldn't have called then, but now I know, an exile, a stranger, an alien. I was afraid of being an outsider. I was afraid of being rejected. I was afraid of being maligned. I was afraid of not being accepted. And that fear kept me from sharing the truth with him, and in that way I put blood on my hands because I didn't warn him of coming judgment, and I didn't have to do it in a way that was hostile or caustic. I could have done it in a way that was pleading and loving, but I didn't do it, and I regret it. It was October 20th, 1992, 28 years ago today. It was a turning point in my life, and it, in the long run, ended up pointing me towards ministry. It pointed me toward that life verse that I have, that no one who puts their hand at the plow and looks back is fit for the kingdom of God or service in that kingdom. And yet, that regret still stings a bit, and it always will. And so October 20th will always be a reminder to me of a couple of things. Number one, it is a reminder of my own failure. And it's a good reminder of my own failure. Number two, it's a reminder to me to always believe in the power of the gospel. Number three, it's a reminder to me to not be ashamed of the gospel of Christ. 4, it's a reminder to me, and I want it to be to you, that if you love somebody enough, then you should be ready to tell them. You can't love them so much that you would cherish their acceptance of you over their eternal destiny. Just think about that today. And if for no other reason, just because I feel like I need to share that with you, and it would be a great honor to me if you'd let those thoughts just sit with you for a little while today. And I think it would honor them. I'd say honor the memory of my friend in sort of a paradoxical way, in a way that I wish I would have honored him in his life by sharing Christ with him. May the Lord bless you today.